You left 5 days ago.
Yeah,
What reason did you leave 5 days ago?
it was cheaper for me to go now for Sundays, then come back, and then go directly to the United States.
Who's paying for all these trips? You? Or your father or relative?
My father and me.
Father and you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The young man is travelling with a snowboard, but this seems a little unusual as it's currently not the snow season here or in South America. Plus, he claims the board is not even his. A swab test will help determine if it requires any further investigating.
It's given a positive reading for cocaine, so we'll continue going through the bag and see what else we can find.
While the swab test was being conducted, the young man admitted that he regularly uses marijuana. But that doesn't explain the cocaine readings.
So I'm going to ask you again. I know you've admitted to using marijuana to me, but have you used cocaine before?
No.
So why do you think I'm getting readings off this equipment?
If this is rented out because maybe the owner did it, not me.
The owner, okay. So we're gonna go through all of your gear here now, just to make sure that you don't have any cocaine on you today, okay?
The board will need to be x-rayed to see if there could be anything concealed inside. But this could be the least of his worries, as officers have just located a plastic bag containing very large bundles of cash. Biosecurity detector dogs patrol all of Australia's international airports, helping to reduce the risk of serious pests and diseases from entering the country. And today in Brisbane, a detector dog has reacted to the luggage of this man, arriving off a flight from Hong Kong.
I holiday with my son.
Okay. And you're going to go fishing while you're here?
I'm with my son just for fishing.
The keen fisherman has packed various pieces of equipment that Biosecurity Officer Andrew needs to inspect closely.
What's in this container?
Fish on.
Do you have any other fishing tackle?
Just
the rod?
Yeah.
They're all clean, so they're fine. Because you use bait when you fish, it may have come in contact with animals, so we just need to make sure that it is clean and then it is okay.
Very interesting.
The hooks and rod get the all clear, and the man has confirmed that he has nothing to declare. But the search will continue for what may have caused the dog to react.
Are you planning on doing any lure fishing while you're here?
Just for fish.
Or just live bait fishing? Any fly fishing with synthetic bait?
No.
No? I'm just going to have a look at these.
Then, at the bottom of the man's backpack, Officer Andrew finds a suspicious package. And what is discovered inside poses one of the highest possible biosecurity risks.
So these are alive.
At Sydney Airport, a Chinese passenger has just arrived off a flight from Beijing. Mr. Wang is travelling on a short-stay business visa, which holds specific conditions.
So business travellers that are coming in on this type of visa are usually here for conventions, meetings, short stays. They're not allowed to work while they're in Australia. It's solely for the purpose of conducting business.
The visa is also intended for short-term visits only. And what is concerning officers is that records indicate that Mr. Wang recently came to Australia on the same visa and ended up staying for over 3 months.
So Mr. Wang, we're going to commence the interview process now, okay? So explain to me what you were doing for the 3 months that you were in Australia.
我们是几个朋友合伙开卖陶瓷的。
Okay, me and my friends, we are in a partnership to sell ceramic products.
是的，我马小彪。
Mr. Wang continues to tell Officer Greg his previous trip was to deliver an order of ceramics to his friend Mr. Lin, who owns a store in Sydney.
Now, Mr. Wang, what is the name of the company that you work for?
我的公司是一个，其实的。
I don't really remember the name of the company.
You need to be able to tell me what the name of your company is in China.
这个忘了，不是以前记得。
I just forgot.
Do you have a business card at all?
没带在身上，没带来。
No, I don't have my business card with me.
Okay, so the reason I'm questioning you is because you're not giving me straight answers. And we'll be here all day if you want to keep going around the bush. So don't lie to me anymore, okay, and give me the straight answers. Okay, so let's start with what the name of your company is.
So you just went to Argentina?
Only in Argentina.
Okay, so how long was your trip? 5 days.
5 days, I tried 24 hours.
So one day travelling there, one day travelling back?
Yeah, I stayed there Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and Tuesday morning I start coming here.
Officers are becoming increasingly concerned that this Argentinian man may be carrying drugs.
He's on a working holiday visa. He's been in and out of Australia a good number of times, sometimes long, sometimes short, so his last journey was literally less than a week.
And that's not all. The snowboard that he claims to be carrying for a friend has tested positive for traces of cocaine. And now a large bundle of cash has been found in his bag.
Why are you carrying so much cash with you?
Because in Argentina now they don't allow you to take the money out. If you use the credit card, they charge you a 50% more when in the, how do you say, the range that you change, for example, 8 pesos, $1, 50% more.
So where did you get all this cash from?
From my parents.
Okay, what does your father do?
Work in Western Union.
Sorry?
Western Union.
He works for Western Union.
Really?
Western Union is a company that specializes in transferring money around the world. So it seems very strange that his father would have given him so much cash.
Yeah, I think it sounds very stupid, but we can read in the internet that they...
I know, but you understand, he works for Western Union. Yeah, but he couldn't transfer money, that's all cash.
It's prohibited in Argentina because there are lot of
Oh, no,
economic problems.
It's a lot of cash to be carrying.
And there are still concerns with the snowboard, as it has just been x-rayed and it shows a section in the middle that could possibly be a concealment. As the construction of the board is sealed, there is only one way to check if there is a substance hidden inside.
Don't lie to me anymore, okay, and give me the straight answers. Okay, so let's start with what the name of your company is.
In Sydney, Mr. Wang is trying to enter Australia on a short-stay business visa. But he can't seem to back up his story with the simplest of details.
You need to be able to tell me what the name of your company is in China. Okay? You don't know.
Officer Greg has serious doubts that the only reason for his trip to Sydney is to conduct meetings to expand his ceramics business back in Beijing.
He cannot provide you with any business cards, he cannot provide you with any business meetings, he can't provide you with negotiation contracts, he can't produce any paperwork pertaining to that activity.
No, nothing.
What officers do believe is that when Mr. Wang was recently here on a similar trip, he worked illegally for a friend named Mr. Lin in his ceramics shop, and he intends to do the same again.
Are you working in the shop for Mr. Lin?
不是打工，没有给他打工，就是不是
No,
打
I
工。
wasn't working for him, I was helping.
I do not believe that after you've unloaded a shipment of goods that you've sold to a company many miles away from where you live, that you would then stay while you're not getting paid to help price it up, and then you've stayed another 6 weeks and you can't tell me anything that you've done for the next 6 weeks. This is not something a business operator does.
把那些货卸了之后，然
What Mr. Wang doesn't realise is that officers have discovered evidence on his mobile phone that suggests he was working in breach of his visa conditions.
Mr. Wang, this message says that you're about to close the shop. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, what shop?
什么店？
Miss Lin 先生。
Lin's shop.
Yeah, Lin.
Why are you closing Mr. Lin's shop?
我是跟林先
I
林先
was
生
with
一起
Mr. Lin. We finished our dinner and we were about to close
吃完饭就去
the
林
shop.
I don't believe you.
Unconvinced that he was just helping out, Officer Greg wants to confirm his story with the shop owner.
Do you have a contact details for Mr. Ling then?
有不知道有没有
I'm just not too sure whether he has changed his contact number.
Australian Border Force officers still have concerns that this Argentinian man may be trying to bring narcotics into the country inside a snowboard that he claims belongs to a friend.
When we did the swab of the snowboarding equipment, came up positive cocaine, but he was quick to deny the fact that any of that snowboarding equipment wasn't his. So we found that that was quite concerning, the fact that it's now summer and he's bringing in snowboarding equipment. He made admissions to me that he had used marijuana before. He said that he definitely had not used coke. I asked him if his friend had used coke. He said he doesn't know.
The X-ray has shown an inconsistent section inside that could be a concealment, so there are not many other alternatives but to drill the board. A test of the extracted material will now be conducted. It's a negative result, which is enough to satisfy officers that there is no concealment. But he may be carrying something on his body, so a frisk search will be conducted.
Do you consent to the search?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm out.
The frisk search is all clear. And his pile of money has also been counted, and there is no issue, as it amounts to less than the 10,000 Australian dollar equivalent that needs to be declared.
Okay, mate, just so you know that we're very happy that you're not carrying any drugs with you today.
Me too.
So you're allowed to depart. Thanks, mate.
Thanks.
See you later.
And this relieved Argentinian has learnt a very valuable lesson about international travel.
So I will never carry luggage for anyone.
However, in Brisbane, this passenger arriving from China has landed himself in considerable trouble, as he's just been caught carrying a packet full of one of the highest biosecurity risks.
So these are alive. What is this?
Fish worm.
So it's a fish worm.
Importing live organisms into Australia without a permit is extremely serious, as it risks introducing unknown diseases that could threaten our unique ecosystem.
So it's a live organism. They're very serious for quarantine.
First time to Australia, I don't know.
You were actually asked a question, do you have any animals, parts of animals, animal products including equipment, birds, fish, insects?
Oh,
So you should have actually declared them as insects.
sorry, sir.
So these are a legal document, so you need to be very careful on what you're signing.
I don't know this is a serious insect.
But his apology may be too late. And failing to declare such a high-risk item means this amateur angler could be facing a large fine or worse.
You can be prosecuted. Because this is a live animal, this is a serious concern.
This amateur fisherman is facing possible prosecution after biosecurity officers in Brisbane discovered a packet full of live earthworms in his luggage.
We do understand that overseas passengers do not know what is serious. That is why we ask you to declare everything on the card to allow us to make that assessment.
The worms are sealed and weighed, and the man waits anxiously as Officer Andrew discusses the appropriate penalty with his duty manager.
150 grams of live worms.
I just fishing. I don't know. Very serious.
Biosecurity management has decided on the appropriate penalty.
Just returning to the card, this is a legal document. They are a live animal. It was one of the highest risk possible to us in quarantine, and I'm going to be issuing you with a $340 fine today.
The surprised passenger reluctantly agrees to pay the fine.
340, very expensive.
Worms will be destroyed, and the man will now need to source some local bait for his Australian fishing trip.
Today highlights the importance of the detector dogs in the airport. Anything that's alive or fresh is certainly a big risk coming in, so it's a really great find for the detector dogs today.
I better.
At the Sydney Mail Centre, Australian Border Force officers Dave and Carly are screening the incoming international mail. And it looks like a package containing a strange object may need investigating.
What do you reckon about this one?
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, it says
What country is it from?
Brazil. Looks like a machine part or something, but it's not consistent. If it was a machine part, it'd be all metal, it'd be all blue, but we've got this greeny shade of green, this line here. Yeah, so the line's uneven there. You wouldn't really expect that.
You better have a look at that.
Yeah.
The package is opened by Australia Post and then taken to the tool room for inspection. The contents of the box seems to match the declaration that states it contains a machine part.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's really heavy. It's some sort of machine part. You can see bits of glue in the hole there.
That is fairly uneven there, hey? Do you think maybe that could have been welded and then re-welded?
Yeah, could be.
If we re-x-ray it and that has been re-welded, we should be able to see some sort of a join mark there.
Yeah.
Without the packaging to interfere with the X-ray, this scan should give a much better image to show how the cylinder is constructed.
Oh yeah, there's definitely something in there.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Cracks through the top there and a bit of light stuff there.
What do you think? Drill it?
Probably have to. Being metal, you wouldn't be able to cut it.
The officers have no choice but to drill a hole through the metal and see if there is anything hidden inside.
To let you know, we are considering cancelling your visa and not permitting you entry into Australia today.
In Sydney, this is Mr. Wang's last chance to convince Australian Border Force officer Greg that he's only here for a few business meetings and not to work illegally in his friend's ceramics shop.
Okay. Do you wish to make any comments or make a response to the consideration that I'm currently undertaking?
My intention to come to Australia is I just want to seek investment and business opportunity to expand my career. And if Australian government doesn't want to allow me in, there's nothing I can do.
Okay. Now, so Mr. Wang, I have weighed up all the information that you made available to me, and I am satisfied that grounds for cancelling your visa outweigh the reasons for not cancelling your visa. Okay, and I have therefore decided to cancel your visa today and not allow you entry into Australia.
On top of this, Mr. Wang may now face a 3-year exclusion period from entering Australia. But for now, arrangements will be made to immediately return him to China on the next available flight. At the Sydney Mail Centre, Australian Border Force officers are drilling into a machine part sent from Brazil, which they believe could be loaded with narcotics.
Wipe out of there. I'll try and grab a sample off the drill bit there and test it.
There is a good chance that inside the cylinder is a significant seizure of cocaine, and a nick test will help determine if this is correct. The pink liquid needs to start turning blue.
There we go. There's the blue.
It's looking good.
Then it should turn pink, followed by a split of pink and blue.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
There we go.
Pink over blue.
Pretty perfect. And then that's a positive result for cocaine.
The cylinder and its contents will now be handed over to the Australian Federal Police.